and I'm very happy to welcome you to this evening's talk. But before we start, again, a reminder to you, please post your questions in the chat so that we know, all right, what are some of the concerns or what some of the things that you may have, all right, while the speaker is explaining what CELERGEN is all about. Now, tonight, the speaker is my good friend and business partner. I've learned so much from him. And just like me, I'm sure many of you too will benefit from his sharing tonight. He is a wealth transformation maestro who is a subject expert in the science of CELERGEN, CELERGEN Swiss marine cellular regeneration. In addition, he is also a senior trainer in TCM meridian therapy. Now, with this wellness knowledge and experience, he has empowered many individuals the world over to embrace an unparalleled well-being. In this talk, he will share how CELERGEN is able to help you slow down aging, safeguard against premature aging, and prevent degenerative illnesses. Let us put our hand together to welcome Platinum Director Ho Ee Kit from Avita, Singapore. Take it away, Kit.
Thank you, Lo Huang. Thank you. Wow, welcome. It's so wonderful to see so many, so many wonderful people from so many nationalities here this evening. Okay, so for those who are meeting me for the first time, my name is Ho Ee Kit. Yes, that's how I'm. Usually people call me Kit. Now, those who actually know me knows that I love to tell stories. Okay. And this is one story that I feel that all sons and daughters with aging parents must hear. Right now, this is my mom's parent. Now, my mom stays all by herself in Ipoh, a small little town in Perak, Malaysia, well, about 400 kilometers away from Singapore, where I live and work. Now, my mom loves to travel. So, and I used to bring her on a trip, every year without fail. And that year when she turned 80 in 2016, I took her on a holiday. Back then, I started noticing that my dear mother was not as energetic as before. In fact, she was kind of becoming frail. Well, I became very worried. Right? What if her health deteriorated further? Now, would she end up in a nursing home? Right now, the thought of such a fate for my mom who leads such an active lifestyle really weigh very heavily on my mind. Now, thankfully, in 2017, I was introduced to CELERGEN, the premium Rolls-Royce cell therapy supplement from Switzerland. Now, after I tried it for myself, I felt the health benefits. Now, immediately I gave it to my mom. Now, within months, I can actually see the difference in her energy, her health, and of course, her vitality. Now, every year after that, I was so glad I was able to bring her for our Avita Voyager trip, incentive trip, and all my friends and her friends were really envious of her, being able to have the health, energy, and vitality to travel. And I am certainly glad that during COVID, CELERGEN helped to keep her safe and she did not contract COVID at all. Yes, she was actually a co-virgin. Okay. Now, last year in 2023, again, I was so excited to be able to again bring her to our Avita Voyager trip to Spain. Well, she really enjoyed herself because, she caught up with all her Avita friends again, whom she has not seen for 2-3 years because of COVID. And she really enjoyed herself. In fact, all her friends in Ipoh, right, was admiring how she can still travel at the age of 88. Okay, yes. And this is really her, celebrating her 88th birthday with a group of Ipoh friends. Now, I always remember what the famous Dr. Paul Nihans said. Now, it's not about adding more years to our life that matters. It's about giving more life to the years, that remains. And that means as we age, we must all strive to live a life of quality. Now, what does that mean? Meaning having good health, vitality, and important to have the mobility to do what we love. So ladies and gentlemen, right, sons and daughters, to be able to give our aging parents health, energy, and vitality. Now, this to me is truly the best gift you can give to them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now the stories that you will hear shortly this evening, right, are really real life experiences from our dear customers and friends. Now, of course, not everyone will experience similar results, but one thing I am sure, you will definitely experience energetic and youthful benefits, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the secret you are going to learn this evening, first thing, okay, is not going to turn you back into a baby. Okay, now, neither is it going to turn you into a Miss Universe or maybe possibly Tom Cruise. Now, so if those of you have logged in this evening to join this talk, hoping that, this secret will enable you to achieve all these 3 items, then, well, I'm so sorry, this will be the wrong talk for you. However, the good news is, okay, if you are looking for one or more of the following benefits, well, then you have certainly come to the right place. Okay. Now, let's start off by first understand what is aging. Right now, you think about it, aging is just like the natural wear and tear on your body over a period of time, right? Now, your cells, which are like little workers in your body, have a very specific job to do. And as time goes on, these cells may undergo changes and they might not function as well as they used to. Now, cells really age for a couple of main reasons, right? Now, first is this shortening of structures called the telomeres, right, which is at the end of your DNA strands, right? This is like a biological clock, ticking away down for the cell. Well, not something that you can control very much. Now, second reason, and well, I also put the third reason that, cells can get sick. Now, how do they get sick? They get sick because of 2 things. One is what we call toxicity. The other thing is called deficiency. Now, toxicity simply means the cells get poisoned by something, right? And typically, what attacks the cells, very significantly is this thing called free radicals, right? And deficiency literally just means that your cells are not getting the necessary cellular nutrients to keep itself healthy. Now, these last 2 factors really can cause a speed up in the aging process, leading to a phenomenon called premature aging. Right? Now, so let's now understand what is cell therapy. Now, an effective cell therapy treatment must first be able to do a couple of things. Now, first, it must be able to intercept and prevent the cells from being further damaged. Now, damaged by what? Damaged by these things called free radicals, right? Now, subsequently, a very good cell therapy regime must be able to help the cells now to repair and maintain themselves. Now, finally, after it has done all this, it helps the cells to rebuild and rejuvenate themselves, giving you all better health. So this, in a nutshell, is really what a fundamental good cell therapy must be able to do. Now, all of us know that, the rich and famous celebrities, now what do? They also want to look young, feel young, and so forth. They fly themselves to Switzerland and they check themselves into this very famous anti-aging clinic to receive their cell therapy treatment. Well, guess how much they pay? Well, ranges depending on the clinics that they check in. They can pay anywhere from US $50,000 to $100,000 for a 2 to 3 weeks treatment. And why do they do this? They do this to make themselves look younger, more beautiful or handsome, well, plus have more energy and vitality. And the thing is, every year they will need to repeat this treatment over and over again. Now, good news, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you and I now can achieve the same benefits just for a fraction of what these rich people are paying. And we can do it without needing to fly even into Switzerland. In fact, we can even do it from the comfort of our own home. Now, isn't that wonderful? Now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you CELERGEN from Switzerland, Rolls-Royce of supplement. Wow, isn't that wonderful? Okay, I always enjoyed that movie. Okay, now do ask the friends who introduce you to share that video with you. It's really a very nice summary of what CELERGEN is all about. Now, CELERGEN was actually launched in May 2009 in Singapore. Now, in fact, CELERGEN has transformed the lives of thousands and thousands of people across the world, right? Now, CELERGEN is really formulated with the ingredients that you see listed down there. Now, the first three ingredients that's highlighted in gold color, okay? Now, these are proprietary and no one else has it in this world, right? Now, the remaining three ingredients, some of you may say that, hey, I've come across this in other supplements and, maybe I'm taking them. However, right, because of the Swiss technology in very synergistically blending these remainder three ingredients all together with the top three proprietary ingredients, where we achieve very superior efficacy. Now, more important, when you are talking about a supplement that has the ability to affect the cells, that I'll be very, very concerned about the quality and the safety. And I'm very proud to say that CELERGEN has more than 40 worldwide accreditations. Now, everybody knows that CELERGEN is produced in Switzerland, and that means its safety and quality is the best in class. Now, we even have the free sales certification allowing CELERGEN to be sold in Switzerland. Now, in fact, many Swiss anti-aging clinics are also using CELERGEN as one of their tools. Now, another very prestigious certificate that we are very proud of is what we call the Banned Substance Control Group certification. Now, or what we call the BSCG certificate means that CELERGEN contains no banned substances, including hormones and drugs. Now, that is why, for Olympic athletes, right, they can take CELERGEN with a peace of mind, to help them in recovering very quickly, so forth, right? But more important, for many of us, is it means CELERGEN does not have hormones of any kind. And that is good news for those of you who have health conditions like maybe cancer or hormonal disorders where, any supplements that has hormones in them, right, can, cause undesirable effects, right? Yeah. Now, I'm also very proud to report that CELERGEN was awarded the Outstanding Anti-Aging Brand Award, when we were first displayed at the Hong Kong Health Expo last year, and it was an award that was actually voted by a panel of doctors and healthcare professionals. Now, isn't that wonderful news, right? Now, more impressive, CELERGEN has also received the approval from the Health and Sciences authorities in China, right? And making it the first Swiss health supplement to be approved and to be sold in China. And you will find that on every box of CELERGEN that is actually sold in China, you can see the very prestigious blue hat logo. And in fact, the benefits of CELERGEN in boosting the body immune system and giving energy and vitality can be found printed on the boxes of CELERGEN sold in China. Wow, isn't that wonderful, right? Now, what really sets CELERGEN, apart, and superior to many other supplements out there is really the various independent clinical studies that have been conducted on it. Right now, feel free to go to Google and Google it up or ask your friend who's introduced you, to point you to some of the clinical studies if you're interested in studying them. Right now, what these clinical studies does is actually provides evidence-based data to prove the efficacy of CELERGEN against various types of health conditions, including arthritis, joint pain, cancer, maybe wound recovery, boosting of immune system, and many others, right? Now, what I'm very proud of to say that, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate that, because CELERGEN has really benefited many people all over the world. And tonight you're going to hear, a number of stories from Cambodia because, I just came back from Cambodia after giving a talk on CELERGEN. And there were so many wonderful stories that, I've heard that I feel that everybody, like tonight, I'm so glad all of you have a chance to hear me talk about it. Now, take a look at this is one of my very good friend, Mr. Albert Tan, right? Now, Albert Tan was an entrepreneur, okay, who's been in Cambodia for many years. He's a Singaporean who actually, one of the pioneers in Cambodia. Now, so what happened was as Albert aged, right? he found himself waking up very, very often to go to toilet. And I'm sure some of the older folks here, or more senior folks here might probably identify with that issue. And this has affected his sleep, right? And then, of course, thanks to his good friend who introduced him to CELERGEN. Now, it was very interesting because in Cambodia, what he shared was that initially he was very skeptical, right? He got a box of CELERGEN, and CELERGEN was lying around on his table for almost 2 months, right? And what he did that in the 2 months, he went to Google up everything, on the internet, talk to people and so forth, right? After that, he was convinced that there wasn't anything to lose, right? I mean, this issue is really causing me a very troubled sleep, so he decided to start on CELERGEN. Now, in just 2 months' time, the first thing he noticed was his frequency of going to toilet, reduced significantly, and he found that he can even sleep throughout the whole night. Of course, that was he said, "Wow, at least this has solved one of my most pressing issue that has concerned me." Wow, what I'm so amazed that he was sharing during in Cambodia after 2 years of taking CELERGEN. Now, not only has it made him actually look younger than his age, more important, he feels so energetic that even though he's retired from active business right now he's doing consulting work. CELERGEN has given so much energy that he's keeping up his busy lifestyle in Cambodia, just like he's never retired. In fact, right now, he's also very passionately sharing CELERGEN to many of his friends out there, okay, so that he's able to benefit them, right? Now, some of you may wonder, right? Is CELERGEN helpful for everyone? It's just because the elderly folks? No, it's not, right? CELERGEN is helpful for everyone, regardless of age, right? Now, this is my good friend, right? Dr. Nelly. She's a practicing medical doctor in Singapore. Now, notice how Dr. Nelly looked far better and younger after just 3 years on CELERGEN. Now, that two gentlemen standing by her side, are her two sons who are also doctors now. When she first took the picture, they were still studying as medical students now. During the COVID period, Nelly also gave her sons CELERGEN to boost their immune system during the COVID period, because during that period, you all remember, even all the doctors, even those who are practicing to be doctors, were conscripted to duties to serve in the hospitals, and so then, and they were working very long hours. And not only did CELERGEN keep them safe, CELERGEN also gave them the energy to work throughout the long hours during that period. Now, isn't that wonderful? Now, for Dr. Nelly herself, of course, besides looking more beautiful, right? Besides the looks and beauty, she also experienced the following benefits from CELERGEN. And because of this, Nelly is now so passionately sharing CELERGEN to many of her family, her friends, and loved ones to improve their health, right? Now, in fact, at this juncture, I would like to bring on one of a very good friend from Cambodia. Okay, Flora, are you in the Zoom chat today? I believe you are. Well, Flora, I would like to invite you to maybe share with our audience here, because you have been taking CELERGEN for a number of years. Yeah, if you want to share with the audience how CELERGEN has transformed maybe your life. Yeah, I think that will be very interesting for all the people to hear from you. Flora, are you around? Hi, Flora. Oops, she's calling in from Cambodia. Hello, Flora. Are you able to speak?
Yeah, I think she's not around.
Oh no. Okay, I think she know her internet. Okay, let me just share with you. Hello, Flora.
可以吗？Hello，
可以okay, Flora. I mean, you're welcome to share in Chinese. I'll be more than happy to translate for you. Okay. Flora，你可以分享一下，你吃了喜瑞斯的时候，你的感觉会怎么样？吃了2、3年。Hi, Flora. Yeah, Flora, we can hear you.
大家
哦，
大家晚上好。我吃了这个CELERGEN，我感觉胃都有了改善。我其实 我本身是一个人，听得到吗？
Okay, Flora, I think your internet connection is pretty bad. Let me maybe just share how how Flora actually benefited from that. Okay. So when Flora was first introduced to CELERGEN, right, she actually has insomnia, and then she needed to take sleeping pills to sleep, right? And she also, because of that, she can't sleep. She always feel very tired after a long day of work. Now the thing is, after taking CELERGEN, the first thing she noticed was actually not that her sleep improved immediately. She actually noticed that her skin complexion improving, and in fact, many people around her started commenting that actually she looked younger. Right, of course, after a short period of time, she actually realized that, CELERGEN also helped her to resolve her insomnia issue, and she was able to do without sleeping pills. Now, isn't that wonderful? So I think, especially for those of you who have friends who are depending on sleeping pills, yeah, I mean, this is one option that you can actually introduce to them, okay? Yeah. Now, next, I would actually like to invite a very good, friend of mine, okay, Alvin, all right? Now, because sometimes when cells degenerate, it leads to even more serious health conditions, such as a heart condition, right? So, I mean, this is a very good friend of, Alvin. So I would like to invite Alvin, to share with us, his story of how he actually helped Dawn and how Dawn benefited from it. Alvin.
Hi there, everyone. I'm always excited to share Don Fu's story. Don Fu is a dear friend of mine. When he turned about 66 years old, he had a heart valve degeneration. So when the heart valve degenerated, the blood will flow back into the heart and he has to pump harder. And then that will lead on to what you call enlargement of the heart, and then it will lead on to heart failure. So his surgeon or his cardio doctor advised him to change a heart valve. But that is actually quite a major surgery and he was very afraid of it. Reason being that he has another friend, same age, went into the ops theater for the exact same procedure and he never came out. Okay, so Don was very worried. He sought my advice. I told him that perhaps you can give CELERGEN a try. You look at the slide here. He started in March on CELERGEN, and by end of that month, he was put through the final test. And thankfully, the doctor say, "Hey, something has happened. All your markers have improved, and why don't we delay the operation for 3 months?" And then he went on 3 months later. His overall conditions continue to improve with CELERGEN's help. His body has responded very well to CELERGEN, and I think a lot of cellular repair and regenerations are happening within. And subsequently, the operation get delayed again for another 3 months, and subsequently 6 months, and only 6 years later, well, he was a lot better. And he finally got his heart valve changed 6 years later. He was 72 years old, and he was in a much healthier, stronger, better position. And within 2 months, he recovered from that heart valve change. And today, he's healthy, and he's powered by CELERGEN to live a healthy and happy life. Okay, back to you, Kate.
Wow, thank you, Alvin. I mean, that story is always so inspiring. In fact, I believe that story has also helped many people, right? To share with friends, and then many friends that because of that has actually get started on CELERGEN to help with their heart condition right now. Now, next, I would actually like to invite my very good friend from Indonesia, Pak Angga. In fact, I just met Pak Angga last week when she and Ollie was actually in town. Can you see the picture? Oh, the date is a little bit wrong. It's actually May 2024. Okay. Pak Angga, why don't you come on and share your story? I believe you are in the talk right today. Angga?
Yeah, hi, Kit. Hi, everyone. Good evening. By the way, I think most of us have heard the story, our story.
We have many new friends here today, Angga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, regarding supplement, I think it's very common that we hear, we look for supplement that's already included the GMP, the Good Manufacturing Practices certification. And I thank you, Kit, for mentioning about the certification of the supplement. That's one of the reasons I gave my wife permission to consume CELERGEN. Well, let me introduce, first of all, in short, my wife was an autoimmune patient. At that time in 1998, it is called fibromyalgia. That's what the doctor called, but it was very serious on her. She lost the muscle mass, so she could hardly move. She is bedridden, and that went on for 15 years. And she lost the senses, her 5 senses, because the nervous system was also damaged by her own immune disease. All right, so that's a very debilitating disease. We had very difficult time. For us to try anything new at that time, it is something that we did not want to take because doctors have all said it is a serious condition. No drugs can cure her. So we were thinking no supplement can do anything. Actually, we have tried many supplements. So came CELERGEN, and I was quite surprised. It carries a certification that is beyond any of the supplement that I've ever met. The BioHC that Kit mentioned just now, the BSCG, all convinced us to try on it. So in short, within 2 months, improvements were experienced by my wife, Oli, and she started to have the strength, the stability to walk, to stand on her own and walk slowly, just in 2 months' time. So as we continue the therapy, 4 years later, slowly she gained her functional mobility, and she became normal, even though her disease is still with her. It is a genetic disease, but she is healthy. She is like any one of us, can carry on with her daily activity. And yeah, senses came back. And the great thing is dozens of pills that she used to take daily has all been, she's free from all those medicines now. Okay, so I can testify this is, everyone here is blessed, will be blessed, just like I'm blessed. This is a great supplement, and I can never thank CELERGEN enough for this miracle.
Amazing, amazing, Pak Angga. I know it's so nice to see you and Ollie again last week, and then again,
Yes.
go for it. Okay, okay. Thank you, Pak Angga. So nice to have you grace our occasion here today. Okay. Now, next is actually a very interesting question because we get this a lot, right? We over the years, okay, the last 15, 16 years, we found that actually CELERGEN can be very complementary to cancer treatment. A couple of things, I think like what Pak Angga has just shared, right? Remember what I said earlier about the BSCG cert. So the BSCG cert essentially ensures you that everything in CELERGEN is natural. There's no growth hormones, which is always something that you want to be careful with, when you talk about placenta-based cell therapy products, right? More important, it helps the weak cells to repair. Now, all you know that cancer patients who undergo chemo treatment, right? The chemo treatment not only just kill the cancer cell, but it actually affects all the surrounding cells. So it actually makes a lot of the cells weaker. And what CELERGEN does it when it comes in, it actually helps the weaker cells to repair, rejuvenate, and regenerate themselves, right? And more important, it actually restores the cell's capability for this process called apoptosis. Apoptosis, which means that it's a natural phenomenon where the cell, if it detects that is mutated or is not normal, it actually has the ability to self-destruct or basically kill itself, right? And you can see that cancer is basically cells which has forgotten the process of apoptosis. right? So, some of the lab studies shows that CELERGEN is able to help cells, restore their ability for apoptosis. Now, it also restore energy to the cells. And for those of you who are very familiar with chemo treatment, you know that a lot of time the patients are always feeling very weak, less of energy, and so forth. And CELERGEN basically makes them bounce back very quickly. Right? Of course, it protects the normal cells against radiation and it boosts the immune system. Right? Now, feel free to go and check out some of the clinical studies, right? That's being done in year 2013 and year 2014, right? On how in the presence of CELERGEN, how pancreatic cancer cells and liver cancer cells behave, right? So on the right hand side is just some of the summary of the positive effect that we have seen done in under lab conditions, right? Now, here I'd actually like to invite a very dear friend of mine called Florabelle. Now, Florabelle actually is a Filipino who actually works in Cambodia, right? So as you all know that when cells degenerate, sometimes when the bad genes gets activated, this is what leads to things like cancer. And cancer treatment takes a very serious toll on the body. So I would like to invite Florabelle. No, Florabelle, you're in Zoom today? I believe you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you share with the audience, your experiences? You're so inspiring when you share in Cambodia during the talk. Come, Florabelle, it's all yours. Hi, Florabelle. Florabelle, are you able to... Can somebody spotlight Florabelle? I thought I heard her just now. Hi, Florabelle, are you here?
I think she's frozen.
Oh, okay. No, I think because many of them are calling in from Cambodia and sometimes the internet is not very good. So yeah, maybe I'll share Florabelle's story on her behalf. I mean, in Cambodia, when we were doing our talk, a couple of months ago, she was actually sharing on stage. So what happened was that now Florabelle was actually diagnosed in 2019 with breast cancer, right? And she had a mastectomy done. And of course, following that, she had to go for many rounds of chemotherapy, cancer treatment, right? And back then, because she was introduced by her good friend, Daphne, on how CELERGEN could help her, protect her, and then, boost her strength. She was just during the seminar, she was actually sharing the biggest difference that she noticed during the cancer ward that, she finds that many patients around her were feeling very tired after their treatment, and a lot of them have very unpleasant side effects. And she said, thanks to CELERGEN, she was feeling very energetic and she had very minimal side effects. In fact, she was strong enough to drive herself from her home to the hospital, which was easily 45 minutes to an hour away, did her treatment, still feel good, right? And then, get in the car and then drive herself back, and that's very important, especially for cancer patients, the ability to have good rest, the ability to be able to get good sleep, and let the body be able to recover quickly, right? And this is actually how wonderful the having good friends are. And in fact, the good friend that actually introduced her is also a very good friend of mine called Daphne, right? And Daphne, when she found out about the goodness of CELERGEN, was sharing her with all her friends, including Florabelle. Now, let me introduce you to Daphne. Now, Daphne is actually the boss of Florabelle, right? Florabelle actually works for her as one of her managers, okay? And Daphne here actually runs a company in Cambodia. Now, all of you must, I think, would agree that, a boss who cares dearly for her staff says a lot about the person. Now, I'm very privileged to have Daphne as my partner in Avita. And really thanks to Daphne here, I now have business partners in Cambodia. Now, Daphne's story with CELERGEN really started in 2019 when she visited our Avita office in Singapore, right? As she was looking around, she noticed the blue box called CELERGEN. She was asking us what was CELERGEN about. And we explained to her about the anti-aging, and she became interested immediately. And then, she, took 2 boxes back to Cambodia and started herself on CELERGEN. Now, at that time, because of, her work and so forth, Daphne was feeling very stressed and constantly feeling very tired. Now, barely about 1 month just after she started, one day her good friend Esther saw her. Her good friend Esther is actually one of her other business partners in Cambodia who hasn't seen her for a month. And the first thing she saw Daphne was that, say, Daphne, what are you taking? You look totally different. And I think if you see the picture, you can actually already notice that within a month or so, Daphne actually started looking more energetic. In fact, she started looking younger. After Daphne shared with her that she was taking CELERGEN, Esther also wanted to try. Okay, now you can actually see Daphne's transformation through the years. Okay, that was her in 2022. And for those of you who actually know her personally, if you see her in 2024, now you agree that she is kind of like frozen in age, look far younger than when she was in 2019, right? And it was because of how Daphne saw CELERGEN bringing so much benefit and happiness to the people in Cambodia and the rest of Indochina. And that's how Daphne decided to start building her wellness business in Cambodia. Now, some of you may be very curious and say, okay, Daphne has only taken for a couple of years. Now, what happens if you take it for more than 10 years? So for some of you who may be wondering, what is the long-term effect of taking CELERGEN? Let me just share with you the CELERGEN journey of this very wonderful lady and also another business partner of mine, Pearl Ambassador Josephine. She's actually the highest ranking network leader in Africa. Now, Josephine has been taking CELERGEN since its launch in 2009. And you can just notice, right, even immediately after she took CELERGEN, only a couple of months, she already looked different. And not only that, right, over the years, she not only seems to turn younger and younger, her age seems to have been frozen in time, right? Now, that is 2023, Josephine. I welcome all of you who are in Singapore to come to our office, right? And see Josephine in 2024, right? You will be able to recognize her immediately, right? So you can actually see that, those who actually take CELERGEN, your age will seem to have been frozen in time. Now, that's really what, good friends are for, right? We share good things with one another. It's a natural thing for what we humans do. So it's also not surprised that, it was Daphne who first introduced CELERGEN to Albert. You all met Albert, she was the very first person that, I talk about, right? She also introduced to her circle of friends, including Florabelle, Ilan, Don, many, many others. And it's this word of mouth chain that continues. And because Albert then was experiencing the benefits of CELERGEN, she decided to share with another good friend, Andrew. And I must really tell Andrew's story because after I heard Andrew told me about his story over dinner and over the seminar, wow, it was simply inspiring. Now, what happened with Andrew was this. Andrew was diagnosed with a condition called a bamboo spine. Now, a bamboo spine is an inflammatory condition that results from, some people say, chronic arthritis. Over time, what happens is the backbone would fuse itself into one solid long bone, and it causes Andrew to have difficulty in movement, and he was in constant back pain, right? And and Andrew was sharing with us, he's seen doctors in Cambodia, in Singapore. By the way, Andrew is Singapore, is a Malaysian, but he also has contacts in Singapore. So he's seen many doctors in Singapore, in Malaysia, and none of them could really help him. Besides giving him medication for painkiller, right? So she was taking a lot of medication to try and control the pain that he was feeling. And he was sharing with us this medicine, was giving him other side effects. They were putting a lot of holes in his stomach. And also he had also ulcers in the stomach, and he was miserable. He says that, he was just telling us during dinner in Cambodia that, when I get up from the table, I actually had to stand for 10 to 15 minutes to let things settle down before I could slowly walk, like an old man, towards the entrance. And he says, if you look at me right now, you wouldn't believe it. So that's what happened, right? So when Albert, who's Andrew's good friend, heard about Andrew's condition, he says, Albert, he says, Andrew, why don't you give CELERGEN a try? Because, he's known that CELERGEN has been very good for arthritic condition, right? And, Andrew, being a very good friend of Albert, said, okay, I'm willing to give it a try. And he was sharing the story with us within the first 1 or 2 months of trying. He actually started to feel differences in the body. It started with like, a slight increased mobility. And as he continued taking CELERGEN, and then when his confidence increased, right, he started increasing his dosage to 2 a day. And when I saw him in Cambodia and he was walking normally, I couldn't believe it. When he told me that if you had seen me 2 years ago, I couldn't be able to walk like that. In fact, his condition has improved so much that he's come back to do swimming, which is very good, right? Swimming. So it's really improved his quality of life. And now he leads such an active lifestyle in Singapore. He's so thankful. And in fact, Andrew, in Cambodia is, wow, just sharing with all his friends. And it was really, really amazing. Around the table that night at dinner, he was telling all his friends that they all should start on CELERGEN. Okay. So yeah. And indeed, it's this type of sharing, which is very powerful and has enabled us to build up a very sizable customer base in Cambodia now. And that's why this year in April, which was just last month, we soft launched CELERGEN in Cambodia. Yes, we were interviewed by the reporters and we appeared on their newspaper, Camel Times. And yes, that picture is actually me on the headlines of the paper, so showing me giving a talk on CELERGEN. In fact, here I noticed today, we have, met a few participants who were also with us in Cambodia. And I think this is one story that all of you must hear. This very inspiring lady called Chris, right? Chris actually followed us to Cambodia because, he was so passionate about it. No, I'll leave the story for Chris to tell. Okay, Chris, I know you are somewhere in the audience. Let's bring her on, spotlight her. Let's bring Chris on and I'll let Chris tells you her inspiring story. Okay, Chris, are you on, Chris? Hello, Chris. Can somebody, bring Chris up on screen?
Hello.
All right, Chris, it's all yours.
Yeah, can
All
you
right,
hear me?
Chris, why don't you share your wonderful story because it's so inspiring. Yeah, okay, go ahead, Chris.
You can hear me? Oh, okay. Yeah, hi. Hi, everybody. Actually, I've been on CELERGEN since 2021, and I've been taking 2 a day, and then usually I'm a patient on dialysis, kidney dialysis, and I do 3 times a week of dialysis. I'm on the hemodialysis. So after the dialysis, I normally tend to pop another 2 inside so that I get some strength back after dialysis. Yeah. And I've been doing this diligently for 3 years plus. And when I started dialysis, my heart was actually pumping only at 30%. And recently, I've got the doctor's clearance that I do not need to go back for any more heart checkup because my heart is fine. Yeah, that's my sharing.
Okay. Okay, I think Chris internet also, yeah, the internet needs CELERGEN these few days in Cambodia and so forth. So yeah, why don't I just repeat what Chris has mentioned? So, for many people who do not know Chris is actually a patient on kidney dialysis. In fact, every week she needs to go for dialysis for 3 times a week. And dialysis always leaves her feeling very weak and tired because, as you all know that, in the process of dialysis, it strips everything in your blood. It strips all, a lot of the nutrients from the blood. So when Chris was first introduced to CELERGEN, right? Chris then, after reading all about it, doing her research, so he decided to use CELERGEN to complement her kidney dialysis. So every time after her kidney dialysis, he would pop into CELERGEN, and CELERGEN would give her the energy, to drive herself back, to live an active lifestyle, And initially, what happened was that Chris' heart condition, and she was saying just now, was initially diagnosed as like 50%. And and what she found was that even as she progressively takes CELERGEN actually helps her heart condition to improve. In fact, it improved so much that, just last week, Chris was able to take a plane. Doctor actually checked her up, cleared her to be able to take a plane all the way from KL to Singapore to join us for one of our Avita activity. And we're also proud of her, a very determined lady. And her story is so inspiring. And it was this story that inspired her and her husband, Edmund, to fly all the way to Cambodia so they can actually share with their very good friends in Cambodia about the benefits of what CELERGEN could bring them. Wow, I tell you, during that in Cambodia, there were so many people were so inspired by, her determination, to share this goodness to many people, right? Okay, thank you, Chris. So for those of you who actually wants to watch a video testimonial, check with a friend who's invited you. They'll be more than happy to send you a video that, Chris has actually produced to actually inspire many, many more people. Right. Now, so really over the next few years, not only will we be expanding CELERGEN to the rest of Cambodia, but from there, we also will expand ourselves out to the rest of Indochina. Wow, a population of more than 250 million people here that we can help. Right? So yeah, really, it inspires me to really help all my partners out there. Now, this is very interesting because I'm also very pleased to observe an increasing number of doctors embracing CELERGEN. Now, so why do doctors themselves take CELERGEN, you might ask, right? Now, the goodness of CELERGEN is very well documented, right? It's reported in many famous luxury lifestyle magazines like the Rob's Report. For those of you who are familiar with the Rob's Report, it's a luxury lifestyle magazine that the rich and famous, actually goes to take references from, what class to buy, and now even what supplement to take, right? Now, in Thailand, CELERGEN was also featured in a very popular magazine called Tactless Thailand. And the story how it has transformed many people's lives in Thailand, many doctors too, becomes very inspiring. In fact, in US, if you, go and Google it up, this is what Dr. Kenneth Obek, okay, very famous anti-aging doctor, says about CELERGEN, right? He said, what's so special about CELERGEN that it's not a pharmaceutical drug, right? But yet it truly works on a cellular level to promote regeneration. And indeed, it can slow down, if not reverse, the aging process, right? Through providing your body very superior cellular nutrients. The human body is fully capable of healing itself given the proper tools. And this is what really inspired a very good friend of mine from the Philippines, Dr. Florencio Lucero. Now, in Philippines or Manila, if you are a businessman or a celebrity and you could afford to go for aesthetic surgery, this is the person you will be looking for, okay, Dr. Lucero. He has a nickname. He's actually called the godfather of aesthetic surgery in Philippines, right? And when Dr. Lucero first found CELERGEN, right, the first person that he tested on was himself. Right? He tested CELERGEN on himself. He found that CELERGEN gave him the energy, the vitality to still do surgery. At his age, right now he's sitting into the late 60s, 70s, right? And subsequently after that, he started to give CELERGEN to his patients. And he found that, with the patients that he was giving CELERGEN to, it helps them to heal their scars faster. There's less complication. They heal very fast. And after that, more important is a lot of the patients feel really, really good, right? So Dr. Lucero always says that, look, CELERGEN is the final piece of the jigsaw to my practice, right? He said, under my hands, if you are 60, I can make you look like 40 again, but I can never make you feel like 40. Hey, but with CELERGEN working from the inside out, you can definitely feel like 40 again. And that's why we are so thankful that, to have this wonderful supplement CELERGEN to help many of us in health. Now, by now, I know many of you are very eager, right, to get started on CELERGEN. And now, let me first guide you on how do you optimize the benefits from CELERGEN. Now, just be mindful that your body takes approximately about 3 months to undergo one main cycle of cellular renewal. Now, certain things might renew faster, like your hair, your nails, and your whatever, your skin. Now, certain things will take longer, and for your blood to kind of undergo one round of cellular change, roughly about 4 months, right? And that's why one of the the effect of people starting to take CELERGEN is that they might find that their nails and their hair grow faster. Okay, now. So how do you assess CELERGEN? I will tell people that, give yourself a good 3 months, right? If you haven't had your body repaired for a long time, this is, how I would recommend. Take 2 soft gels daily on an empty stomach, right? Typically, I would say 20 minutes before your breakfast, or once you wake up, you take your CELERGEN, right? And about 20 or 30 minutes later, then you can go back to do your whatever you do, your routine, right? Take breakfast, you're taking a medication or whatever it is, right? Now, I would say that give yourself a good 3 months, right? When your body has, at least a lot of the major organs and so forth has gone through one round, one cycle of improvement, then you start to observe the difference, right? Be in energy, better sleep, do you look better? Do you start to look younger? Do friends around you comment that you actually look more, more energetic and so forth, right? Now, be mindful because, your cells are made out of 70% of water. So, during the process of repair and rejuvenation, your cells will require a lot of water. So do drink lots and lots of water to support yourself in the cell repair and cell renewal, right? So it's really as easy as, what I've just described, right, to you, right? Now, some people may even ask me that, hey, what about all the other supplements that I am currently taking and so forth, right? One of my usual advice is I tell them that if you have started to assess CELERGEN on yourself, what you can do is, maybe you can stop the rest of the supplements. Okay, not medication, supplements. Stop the rest of the supplements during that period when you're assessing CELERGEN, and then see how you feel. And you feel that, wow, you are feeling better, and then, even though you're not taking the rest of the supplement, then you really have a choice of deciding whether or not you may want to cut back on some of your other supplements, and then just go on, like, maybe CELERGEN and maybe 1 or 2 selected supplements that, CELERGEN doesn't provide, like vitamin C, right? Okay, yeah. So, of course, we have actually prepared a few options to choose from, right? I mean, feel free to check with a friend that has actually invited you. Now, for a first-time user, I would recommend the starter pack. The starter pack comprises of 6 boxes of CELERGEN. And, that would be a good assessment pack for a period of 3 months, right, on 2 capsules each, right? Now, each box contains about 30 capsules, right? Now, if today after the talk, you feel that, hey, since this is such a good thing, I also want my wife to start together with me, then, yeah, then I would recommend that you consider the annual pack. The annual pack basically comes with 14 boxes, so per box is actually slightly cheaper. And then, that will also be a good starter pack for a 2-person family or for 1 person for 1 full year. Now, in fact, if you're so confident after listening to this thing and say, look, not only do I want to start, my wife want to start, my son want to start, my mother, my grandfather, and my older folks, then feel free to get the family pack. Check with your friends who introduce you about what the family pack is all about, right? It's 25 boxes. This is really best value for money, right? Now, really today, once upon a time, my good friend Alvin, who cared about my health, shared CELERGEN with me. And really with that knowledge, I took action, and this afternoon, and this evening, your friend who cared about your health has actually shared this wonderful anti-aging secret with you. So, I would say, take action to get yourself CELERGIzed, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, I will now hand it back to your MC, Lok Huang. Come,
Thank
Lok Huang,
you.
take it away.
Thank you, Ari, Kit, for your wonderful talk tonight. Very informative. And again, all right, we benefited from his vast experiences when he is sharing CELERGEN with his friends. If you have any questions, do type into the chat. In the meanwhile, can I get, all right, Kit to show us the next slide first? We will come to the Q&A in a short while. But first, let me invite every one of you to join in the Avita CELERGEN Golf Challenge. We are raising funds to transform life, all right, through the arts. So if you are an avid golfer, come join us. Even if you're not an avid golfer, come have dinner with us. And in the process, the money they contributed will help to raise funds for one of our charity organizations. So if you have if you go back, all right, to ask the friend who invited you for tonight's talk, ask how can you join in the golf challenge. With that, all right, let's come to the question Q&A.
Okay. Okay, Lok Huang, do we have any questions?
Oh, we have lots of questions. All right, people are so
from
enthusiastic
the
about.
audience?
People are so enthusiastic about asking questions. So the first question
Hi,
asked
Lok
is,
Huang.
hi. The first question people ask is, can people with kidney issue take CELERGEN?
Okay, is there a better, I guess, to clarify on what it means by kidney issues, right? Then I can, it's easier for me to explain. The one who brought up the question, I mean, feel free to, unmute yourself and ask. If not, then maybe I will just answer in a slightly more generic manner, okay? So we have had, cases of where people has decline in their kidney function, which means that, the kidney function has gone down from 100% functionality to maybe 80%, 60%, 70%, and so forth. Now, if the kidney is still functioning, then you can actually consider taking CELERGEN to first, stabilize the condition. So we have had people who have kind of like, taken CELERGEN and found that it kind of slowed down the deterioration and also, improve the kidney function, to a certain extent, like, maybe not fully to 100%, but, stabilize it and improve it to a certain extent, at least prolonging, the period of when maybe you need to go for dialysis, right? Now, what about patients who had dialysis like Chris, right? In that case, right, because kidney patients who undergo dialysis can feel very tired, right? Because after the dialysis, you can strip your body of a lot of the nutrients, and then hence, your energy is low. And this is when they actually, taking CELERGEN immediately after a dialysis can be very helpful, right? To restore the energy in you, right? Now, the only time I would recommend that do not take CELERGEN before you go for your dialysis. Now, the reason is because, the process of dialysis will just clean up all the cellular nutrients, and so it's just a waste
It
of
does make sense.
CELERGEN now. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it does
if
make
you're
sense.
thinking of taking it and just like Chris' condition, then just take it after your dialysis. But one day before your dialysis, yeah, don't take CELERGEN. That's just a waste of good cellular nutrients. So
Yeah, it
that
does.
would be my my sharing on that question.
Okay,
Okay,
another
Looks, what
question.
other questions do we have?
Another question is CELERGEN helpful for people with diabetes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we've
Yes.
had many cases. First, well, I mean, for example, Chris, Chris did share, and I think her audio is not very good right now. Chris was also a diabetic, and then Chris' diabetic condition actually improved after
diabetic.
she took CELERGEN. It also helped to improve her diabetic condition. So we have some cases in many countries where it helps to stabilize their condition, to get worse. But important because CELERGEN also it reduces the glycemic index of food, right? So if you take CELERGEN together with your food, it's good. And then because it also helps the bodies to re-repair themselves, right? For some people, the benefits can go far beyond just stabilizing their condition, also improving their diabetic condition to the point where they can actually reduce the insulin injection and so forth. So yes, check with a friend who's introduced you. They can definitely provide you more information and share stories, and even maybe have some of the some of our friends who has diabetic condition improve, and then share more with you one-to-one. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Here's another question. Do you have success stories about people with heart problems like irregular heartbeat, premature heartbeats, etc.? after taking CELERGEN, does it help them improve their condition?
Yes,
No, we.
I am one of them.
Okay. Hey, Chris, yeah.
Chris.
Oh, okay, Chris. Now you can hear clearly. Come, Chris, why don't you share your
Yes,
story then? And you
I
also share
am one
diabetes.
of them. I actually have a skip heartbeat, and basically my heart was 30% when I started dialysis, 30, and now it's clear. It's all clear. No blockages whatsoever. It's strong enough.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
it,
Chris, I
it will
believe
it
that
will
it's also
actually
help. Yeah, yeah. I believe it's also help you with your diabetic condition, right?
no. Actually it does. I'm not sure about that. I'm not diabetic. It
Okay,
will
okay.
actually
Got
help
it, mistaken.
to. It will actually help to stabilize your glucose level.
Correct. Okay.
The glucose
Good.
level will be stabilized. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
so we
Chris.
do have we do have many cases of CELERGEN helping with like degenerative heart condition, congestive heart, strengthen them and so forth. So yeah, feel free to read up the literature. There are many out there. So for your particular condition, all I can say is CELERGEN starts your body repairing from a cellular level, right? And it's help different people with different type of health condition. So
We'll keep
Yeah.
following.
Okay. Don, you want to mute yourself? Okay. So if once you have assess it and then you decide it's worth a try, give yourself a 3 months assessment period and see what it does to your heart condition. Now, I've had friends who had heart palpitations, and heart palpitations with he has had his heart palpitation conditions improve after taking CELERGEN. So yeah, it's been helpful for various types of heart conditions. So yeah, you can actually consider taking that to help your condition too.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question that was asked is, how young can a person start taking CELERGEN?
I would, like for myself, my son, at age 7, because he has this eczema condition, I actually did start him on his CELERGEN, because it was genetically inherited. So I just started him on CELERGEN, when he was about 7, 8 years old. But of course, because he's a smaller kid, right? So what I did was I just gave one CELERGEN, and every 3 days, then I give him another CELERGEN, I would say that, based on my experiences, I think if 7 years and above, you could safely give them, CELERGEN, but, you do not have to give them every day, one every 2 or 3 days, and if their health condition requires it. Generally for kids, if they're healthy and so forth, at that age, unless you have a condition that you want to address, then, by all means, you can evaluate whether CELERGEN will be helpful. If not, typically, I would say, CELERGEN will be helpful for anybody in their 20s onwards, or in their teens onwards. I mean, right now with my kid, he's in his O-levels now, and because he's studying and sometimes it's very tiring, so I do give him CELERGEN on a daily basis in order to help him with energy, vitality, and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. So you can actually start them when they are much younger. Than
If a
what
condition requires it, and then you
Yeah.
evaluate for yourself, the
Okay.
health benefits. Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, can CELERGEN be taken together with chronic medication?
Okay, so be mindful that CELERGEN is not a medication. It's just a supplement. So it's just very good cellular nutrients for your body. So you can take it with medication, but what you want to do is first take your CELERGEN, right? Then give yourself an hour or so before you start taking your medication. That is typically my recommendation. You don't want to mix both of them together. So I always say the first thing you wake up in the morning, take your CELERGEN. Half an hour to 1 hour later, life goes back to normal, which includes taking your chronic medication. Right now, I would not recommend that you go ahead and reduce whatever chronic medication that you are taking. You continue taking your medication as what your doctor has prescribed. But once CELERGEN has improved your condition, you let the doctors assess you and decide if they want to reduce your medication gradually. So this is experiences of many of our friends, right? When their condition improve, when their doctor assessed them, it's the doctor who made that decision to actually reduce their chronic medication.
Okay. Does it also mean that if I'm on TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, I can't take it together with CELERGEN?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's just like good food, right? Even if you're on TCM medication, you still require good food, good nutrients. And you just think about CELERGEN is just very good nutrients for the body, right? And then the TCM medication will help in also helping with other things. So I think they are very complementary to each other. In fact, even in Navita itself, we do use a combination of both the Eastern and the Western to help people with various chronic health conditions.
Okay. Another question that was asked by my friend, and that is his mother is a Zumba instructor. So
Okay.
because of the vigorous exercise over the years, her cartilage in the knee has already wore off. So can CELERGEN help her or not in this situation?
Yes, definitely, right? Now, a lot of people has that misconception that oh, my collagen are weak, so I should just take collagen, and collagen will be helpful to help me build. And then sometimes they are very disappointed when it didn't really happen because collagen doesn't really work in that manner. Now, what happened in CELERGEN itself? You have collagen, very high grade collagen, and then together with another compound called elastin. Now, these two works together, their composition is very close to that of our human skin, of course, the cartilages and the bones. And the thing is, with this, when you take CELERGEN, first, you have conditions like joint pain and so forth, CELERGEN is a very strong anti-inflammatory supplement. It's able to help you reduce joint pain. Now, more important after that, right, with the ingredients of the collagen and the elastin, we have many cases of where people has find that their bones and the cartilages started improving after they took CELERGEN. So yeah, by all means, I would actually say that try CELERGEN, give yourself a good 5-6 months and then assess the effect that it has on your joints and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Can we take a few more questions, or
I think we'll just take 1 or 2 more questions because I'm mindful that it's
yeah,
late.
you
Now,
might,
but
yeah.
okay, for the rest of you have questions, feel free to share them with the friends who has invited you, and we'll be more than happy to get back to you.
Okay, one
personally.
question to ask is, can CELERGEN help osteoporosis?
Yes. So the osteoporosis, we have had cases where, especially for women, that once they hit the menopausal age, osteoporosis is a very real threat, right? The bones gets more more brittle, right? So we have cases where after taking CELERGEN, people have find that their bone density started improving. That's very good, and then it helps women to strengthen up their bones and avert the progress of osteoporosis. Right? In fact, one of our we in Navita itself, we actually have a bone density testing meter, right? And what we do encourage is actually for patients before they start on CELERGEN, do a test to check on their bone density. Then after they put themselves on CELERGEN for 6 months to a year, and then go and check their bone density again. In many of these cases, people find that their bone density do actually improve after taking CELERGEN.
Okay, thank you very much, Kate. One last special request.
Okay.
Can we have Dr. Chin Keng to share a little bit about his experience with CELERGEN?
Oh, sure. Come, Dr. Ken, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's bring Dr. Ken on and share. I mean, he's a very good friend of us in Cambodia. Hi, Dr. Ken. Are you able to come on and share your experiences?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, it's
Hi.
nice to see you again.
Yes. Can you hear me clear?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, it's nice to meet all of you here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Ken from Cambodia. So nice to invite me to join our session tonight. And nice to know everyone here.
Yep.
And just now, Evan got invite me to share something about my experience who are taking CELERGEN in the past.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so actually I never get prepared.
No worries.
Just invite me to share. I myself was taking a CELERGEN. Last time I was buy directly from Singapore. I think many years back ago, I take around 5 or 6 years of CELERGEN. And I just say something that in the past, last time I was always drink. And when I drink early morning, cannot wake up. You know, normally I have to wake up around 5:30 to 6 a.m., get prepared and go to work. At end, when I get drunk, I cannot get early. But when I start to use CELERGEN, I myself, I can wake up either 5 a.m. also can. It means I got like energy in my body, so I can get up very early even though I get drunk. This one point that I noticed from the day I take the CELERGEN. So I see my body feel like got the power in my body.
Wow.
And talking about the memory as well. Sometimes when I'm drinking, the memory also not so good. But after taking CELERGEN, I have a good memory. And what I know that why I taking CELERGEN because one of my friends they told me that CELERGEN is not a drug, not a medicine, but this kind of supplement food. After we taking it mean in your body, sometimes when you got some sickness because some of your body cell in your body was broken, so you cannot produce the kind of vitamin or that kind of cell to supply to your whole body. So when you are taking the CELERGEN, it go to recover back the cell which is broken and start to produce new cell and make your body more stronger, more healthy. And also like maintain my young. My friend always ask me how old are you, but everyone cannot guess my age. They always guess the age is under my real age. This is what I want to share with you, that they always wrongly guess my age.
So now everybody knows your secret, Mr. Ken.
So actually this one, I take CELERGEN quite long time and I feel CELERGEN got very useful for myself.
Yeah.
But for other, I'm not so, but based on what you are sharing, some experience of those friends who are taking the CELERGEN, I feel got improvement. Like
Definitely.
Yeah, like the healthy, all these things. So I myself, I recommend that CELERGEN is one kind of the good supplement that you should take it for maintain your health, maintain your young. And
Okay.
also
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Ken. I look forward to you getting younger and younger. Okay. So that's not an encouragement for you to drink more. Although, yes, we've had a lot of people who feedback to us that after they start on CELERGEN, they can actually drink more. Okay. So that's not an encouragement for you to drink more. We should still all lead a healthy lifestyle. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much. I think, that was a wonderful ending, for us. And yeah, looks back to you.
Thank you, Kate. Once again, let's give Kate a warm round of applause. Or give the heart emoji to Kate. And can I request for Alvin to help take a Zoom photograph?
So are we ready? Can we all turn on your video? So only those who are on video will be captured into the camera, yeah? Okay, everyone put a heart emoji and...
Heart emoji to Kate for his wonderful talk.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, one more. Are y'all ready? Come on, there's some more people who are turning on the video now. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Hey, thank you very much, Dr. Ken.
Thanks,
what
Kate.
a wonderful
We are not
sharing.
able to answer all your questions, but
Bye.
go back to the
Thanks,
friend
Ken,
who
for
introduced
coming.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night, Josephine. Thank you.
Good night.